It's a normal thing to be inspired by something, but it's a rare occurrence when someone gets inspired to a level where their life's work completely shifts towards that passion. And when we talk about stories where a man reached the highest peak of success from a random inspiration, then no story can top the tale of the Japanese automobile company Honda. The number of errors and struggles this company went through just because its founder was incredibly motivated and is nothing but an astonishing feat. Ichiro Honda, the creator of the Honda. Ichiro Honda was born on November 17, 1906 in Komio village situated in Iwata district. He was born in a poor household and he was Gihei Honda and Mika Honda's first child. Ichiro Honda had 5 more siblings in his lifetime but lost all of them because of malnourishment and health issues due to the poverty. When Ichiro Honda was just a toddler of 8 years, he saw his first car ever. It was a Ford Model T car and it fascinated Ichiro Honda so much that he started running behind the car as fast as possible to see the car for as long as possible. This experience changed Ichiro Honda forever and he fell in love with machinery. Ichiro Honda didn't have any interest in traditional education at the time. His grades were poor and he had to forge the family stamp on the report card. His craftsmanship gained popularity among other students, so he started to forge other students' family stamps as well. But he has quickly caught red-handed because of one rookie mistake. Ichiro Honda didn't know that family stamps were supposed to be mirror images. His family name was symmetrical when written vertically. That's why he wasn't caught at that time. But when he made stamps for others, he made this mistake. In 1922, Ichiro Honda saw an ad in a magazine. The ad was about Art Shokai, one of the leading motorcar service providers in the city. Ichiro Honda saw an opportunity that he wanted to grab as soon as possible. So he wrote a letter to Art Shokai about finding a job there. And fortunately, he received a positive answer. Without thinking twice, Ichiro Honda dropped out of school and left his village and his family to pursue his passion, Tokyo. When Ichiro Honda reached Tokyo and finally arrived at Art Shokai, the owner of the organization, Yuzo Sakakibara, saw nothing at him. He was a kid with a big dream. Yuzo Sakakibara decided to give him a job anyway, but it had nothing to do with the automobile repair. What Ichiro Honda had to do was take care of the owner's baby. Ichiro Honda was disappointed with the arrangement. His sole reason to come here was to learn and gather knowledge about machines. But now he had to babysit a child. Ichiro Honda thought of leaving, but when he restrained himself because if he went back empty-handed, he would be considered a disgrace to his family and his village community. However, Ichiro Honda's story changed in a while when Yuzo Sakakibara couldn't keep up with the workload Art Shokai was getting. Therefore, he had to bring back Ichiro Honda to the workshop and let him work as an apprentice. In the beginning, Ichiro Honda was assigned to small works, but because of his hunger to learn and his immense dedication, he quickly reached the position of mechanic of Art Shokai. Yuzo Sakakibara was impressed to see Ichiro Honda growing as an expert in the field so fast that he decided to take him as an apprentice and teach him the business side of the automobile industry as well. Ichiro Honda found this opportunity a blessing because at the time the business was going great and they were repairing cars and motorcycles from various brands. This opened up a door when Ichiro Honda could gather as much knowledge as possible from different cars and expand his expertise on automobiles. In 1923, Ichiro Honda found out about motorsports. Car racing was getting traction in Japan like in Europe. So Art Shokai took advantage of the situation and started producing racing cars by themselves. Ichiro Honda was involved with the production team and he also participated in the race as an accompanying engineer to the driver. Art Shokai's first model was a reworked Daimler car named Art Daimler, but their second model became a huge success. The second model, the Curtiss, was using an engine from a Curtiss biplane on an American car, the Mitchell. This hybrid monster of a car ended up winning the Japanese Motor Car Championship in 1924. With this, Ichiro Honda found another purpose to love automobiles more. Birth of Honda. In 1928, Yuzo Sakakibara decided that it was time for his company's expansion. He opened a branch of the shop in Hamamatsu and gave Soichiro Honda the responsibility to run newly opened branch. In this branch, Soichiro Honda made a racing car that made a national record by reaching the speed of 120 km in an hour. This record stood as the national record for 2 decades. However, Soichiro Honda faced a life-threatening accident while driving his Hamamatsu racing car. This accident forced Soichiro Honda to take a forced retirement from the racing world, and he wasn't happy about it. He had to accept his fate and move on to his new endeavor, and making car parts was the first thing that came to his mind. He gave a business speech to the shareholders about making separate car parts and using Hamamatsu branch as the workplace for it. This idea was quickly rejected because the shareholders thought it was unnecessary at the time. So, Soichiro Honda decided that it was time to open a company on his own. In 1937, Soichiro Honda founded his first company, Tokai Seiki, and made one of his acquaintances, Soichiro Kato, the president of the company. This company was made to produce piston rings, and Soichiro Honda finally found success after going through many trials and errors in 1939. Then, Soichiro Honda received an order from another Japanese automobile company, Toyota. But due to the poor quality of piston rings, Soichiro Honda lost the order afterwards. This came as a shocking moment for Soichiro Honda, but he quickly realized that he had to fix the quality anyway. Later, he started visiting factories and attending engineering school to understand the mechanism of piston rings and their raw materials. In 1941, Soichiro Honda was finally able to make piston rings that matched Toyota's standards. Soichiro Honda found enormous success after a long time, so he started to hire more people to cope with the orders. This was a good time for Soichiro Honda and his company, but everything changed when Japan decided to join the Pacific War in the same year. Soichiro Honda lost control of his company to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and he was demoted from president to senior managing director. Most of his workers left the company because they had to join the war, and he began to struggle to run the company. Bad fortune strikes Soichiro Honda twice. Once in 1944 when his Hamamatsu plant was bombed, and the other one in 1945 when Nankai earthquake destroyed the Iwata plant. Soichiro Honda lost everything, and now he had no other choice but to sell every scrap he had at that time to Toyota. Soichiro Honda received 450,000 yen and used the proceeds to found the Honda Technical Research Institute in October 1946. Rise of Honda. After the war ended badly for Japan, Soichiro Honda saw that his country needed cheap transportation options. The economic crisis was severe, but Soichiro Honda's passion for machinery didn't die out yet. Soichiro Honda invented a customized motorized cycle for this purpose only. He attached a 50cc Tohatsu war radio generator engine to a normal bicycle, and this innovative idea received great feedback in the market. In 1949, the Honda Technical Research Institute was liquidated for 1 million yen, and these funds were used to incorporate Honda Motor Company Limited. The new company focused on producing motorcycles and had success at the very early stage. After fixing the problems found in their first motorcycle, the Model D, Honda released their second motorcycle, the Super Cub. This motorcycle outsold American motorcycles on their turf and quickly became a motorcycle that was reliable and cheap at the same time. In 1963, Honda launched their first automobile, the T360 mini pickup truck. In 1964, Honda became the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world, but failed to make its mark in the automobile industry. Honda then launched a racing car, Honda S500, in the market. It was a good performing car, but it also failed to make any noise in the market. So, Soichiro Honda took a break, shifted its attention to car design and performance, and ended up making the Honda Civic. This car became one of the most successful automobiles in the market because of its ability to tackle the fuel problem the world was facing at the time. Their next car, Honda Accord, continued the legacy and became one of the best-selling sedans in automobile history. In the 80s, Honda became the third largest automobile producer in Japan. Honda today. Today, Honda is the seventh richest automobile company in the world with 123.803 billion in annual revenue for 2021 only. Honda, a company that emerged from all the destruction and struggles, finally became one of the leading automobile companies in the world. And it is surprising and motivational to say that it all happened because a car went in front of Ichiro Honda when he was only 8 years old. A dream came to him and a passion grew inside him that only grew stronger with every hit it faced. And that is why Honda's journey towards success is an amazing feat.